And your Pekin 10 UAA Dragons take the ice to the Icebox Skating Rink in South Bend, Indiana for Game 3 of the UHT 2025. Look at the Irish tournament. Today's opponent, SHD Elite. I think they're like a development group. Not really sure where they're from, but everything I tried to look up says that they are somewhere out east, like Virginia or something like that. Don't know much about them. Something tells me they might be the ones to beat though today, so apologize for the glass being frosty here. We had that problem this morning too, but I don't have a very good viewing angle, so I'm gonna do my best. Thanks for watching, folks. This is 30 Degrees Daddy, sponsored by Dr. Pepper at the moment. All right, let's rip through the roster here one time, just so you remember who everybody is. Number 7, Braxton Courts. Number 11, Easton Cook. Number 19, Grayson Blevins. Number 25, Jackson McCoy. Number 29, Nash Moldenauer. Number 33, Jet Nafziger. Number 40, Jonas Smith. Number 44, Ace Arch. Oh, he's not here today. Sorry about that. Number 77, Houston Richardson. Number 80, Payson Shortino. Number 82, netminder Wesley Johnson. Number 84, Emmett Cook. Number 90, Wyatt Flynn. And not rostered today, we have 44, Ace Archdale. And number 6, Duncan Hill. Pekin 10 UAA Dragons head coaching staff consists of head coach Josh Gale. Assistant coach, well, I don't know who the assistant coaches are, but on the bench we got Jake Flynn, Brian Blevins, Mr. Barry Moldenauer, and it looks like Dustin Cook. Might be the penalty box attendant there. After the last game, Dragons are 24-8-1 for their 2024-2025 season, and they are now 1-1 in the UHT 2025 Luck of the Irish tournament. If we win out for the rest of these games here, the next 2 playoff games, this one and the one tomorrow morning, we should have ourselves a spot in the championship game tomorrow morning. So stay tuned, keep watching. This HD Elite over here in the red and white and blue, and Dragons are over here in the white jerseys for the home team for this game. Dragons were victorious in this morning's game with a score of 9-1. If you're not caught up on that. That was another development team, but I'm not real sure that they play as a team much. I think that they were just trying to test their skills that they learned over the season there, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. But SHD Elite coming in. I think they have 3 wins. Is that true? 3 wins out of 3 out of 3? 3 out of 3? 3 out of 3, perhaps. Yeah. So this might be the team to beat here. They beat the Franklin Park Panthers here earlier this afternoon. That was the team that blew us out yesterday. That doesn't mean much. But anyway, let's go Dragons! This is Pekin Dragons 10 UAA hockey, and we're going to have Shortino at center. Jonas Smith and Wyatt Flynn on the wings. Grayson Blevins and Emmett Cook on defense. Wesley Johnson in net. Hopefully you all can see okay and the signal's coming through good. Shortino for the face-off. Knocks it over here to the near side in the... Oh, picks it back up in the neutral zone. I can barely see him. There he goes. Advances towards the net. Goal, Dragons! Woo! 11:47 remaining. remaining in the first period. Dragons up by 1. Shortino goal. Same lineup. Shortino for the face-off. Dangles it around the referee's skates there. Dangles it up the slot. Back to Wyatt Flynn. He'll pick it up in the near corner, or far corner rather. And SHD brings it over here to the near side. Can't really see what's going on, but we're gonna do our best. And Shortino picks it up in the neutral zone, dumps it back in deep offside. 11:19 remaining in the first period. Dragons up by 1. Face off in the neutral zone. Smith at center. Courts and McCoy on the wing. Nafziger and Emmett Cook on defense. Nafziger dumps it into the SHD zone. Back over to McCoy on the near side, and he'll get picked off there. SHD advances out to the neutral zone. Emmett Cook back to defend. Sends it back up the near side boards. Can't really see what's happening here. Cook and Courts battling for it on the near side boards. Courts pulls it in to the SHD zone, sends it over to the far side boards. Jonas Smith will race it down on the far side. He'll center it up. SHD picks it off. Nafziger and Cook back to defend. Here comes SHD into the Dragon zone. Nafziger battles him in the far corner. Back to Courts on the far side and back to Jonas Smith. He'll advance it out to the neutral zone. Kicks it up ahead to himself and drags it all the way in. Well, look. Trying to get a goal here, and SHD netminder will cover in the crease with 10:14 remaining in the first period. Face off in the SHD zone. Near side face-off circle. Can't really see who's on the ice here. Wyatt Flynn from the face-off sends a shot. Save SHD. Loose puck, and SHD comes out with it. Back out to the neutral zone. And looks like we got a delayed penalty on the Dragons, perhaps. Face off in the Dragon zone. 10:01 remaining in the first period. Dragons up by 1. And number 80 will go off for a minute 30. Shortino penalty. Smith at center. And Nash Moldenhauer on the wing. And SHD holds it into the zone. Jonas Smith brings it out into the neutral zone. SHD picks him off there, turns it around in the neutral zone and enters back into the Dragon zone with some speed up the near side. Save Johnson, and sends another one up the slot. Save Johnson again. Here comes SHD. And save Johnson again. Moldenhauer peels it out of the slot, and SHD fires it wide. Jonas Smith sends it back out to the neutral zone. SHD gets there first. And over to the near side. SHD enters the zone. Sends a shot up the slot, just wide of the net, and over to the far corner. Wyatt Flynn tries to send one up the far side to clear it, and SHD kept it in. Another shot, another shot. Goal, SHD. Dragons and SHD's had a 1 goal apiece. 8:54 remaining. Power play goal, SHD. Let's go, boys. That's okay. Shortino at center, Courts and Richardson on the wing, Nafziger and Emmett Cook on defense, Shortino for the face-off. And he'll try to power it in. Richardson comes in behind him, Drags it up the slot, sends it to the back wall, and he'll chase it down over the far side. SHD gets there first and runs into the back of the referee's legs there. And here comes Shortino. Back to Nafziger at the point. Sends it back up to Shortino. And SHD picked him off there. Puck gets lost in the referee's skates. And back out to the neutral zone we go. Nafziger's in a foot race. And Cook's also back to defend. And SHD sends it back behind the Dragons net over to the near side. Shortino on the near side boards battling for it. And back to Richardson. Carries it across the neutral zone. Dragons enter the zone offside. 8:03 remaining in the first period. Dragons and SHD tied at 1.
Houston, pass in front.
Face off in the neutral zone. Shortino at center. McCoy and Courts on the wing. Nafziger and Emmett Cook on defense. Shortino for the face-off. And back to Nafziger on the far side. He'll dump it into the SHD zone. And SHD advances, sends one up the slot, right over the top of the net there. Might have been a little bit wide. Emmett Cook gets it up. Not sure who sent it out to the neutral zone, but that's where it's at. And here comes SHD. Emmett Cook turns it around, center ice, and right up the slot. Lost track of the puck. Save SHD. Loose puck in front of the net. Oh, back to Shortino. Oh, right over the top of the net. And SHD collects it behind their net. Skates it up the slot in their zone and back out to the neutral zone. Cook and Nafziger back to defend. Shortino. Oh, we got Shortino down against the boards here. We got a whistle. Looks like he's getting up. Yeah, he's on his feet, ladies and gentlemen. He'll get a stick tap, skate over to the bench, get checked out. Hit the boards a little hard there. Face off in the Dragon zone. Jonah Smith at center. Easton Cook and Nash Moldenauer on the wing. Nafziger and Cook on defense. Nafziger sends it around the back of the Dragons net over to the far side, and Easton Cook's going to try to chase it down, battling for it in the far corner, and Nafziger comes back to help him. Back up to Nafziger, and he's going to skate it all the way out. Up the far side boards and across the neutral zone. Left the puck behind there for a second, and he'll peel it back in. Back to Easton Cook. Back to Nafziger. And SHD brings it back out of the neutral zone. Nafziger's in a foot race trying to chase him down. And puck comes back out to the neutral zone. I think SHD's offside. 6:30 remaining in the first period. Dragons and SHD tied at 1. Good game so far. Smith at center. Easton Cook and Nash Moldenauer still on the wing. Wyatt Flynn and Grayson Blevins on defense. And Wesley Johnson will stick that one out of the way there. Save Dragons and back over to Moldenauer, and he's going to try to muscle it up the far side boards and out to the neutral zone, and he does. Ooh, got a Nash Moldenauer sandwich there against the boards. Here comes Wyatt Flynn, brings it over to the near side. And all the way down into the SHD zone. Back around the back of their net and turns it around. SHD's all over him. Can't see what's happening here on the near side. And centering feed from somebody there. Jonah Smith tries to hold it in. And Blevins will race back for it in the Dragon zone on the near side. Oh, looks like an offside call. SHD, 5:30 remaining in the first period. Dragons and SHD, elite, tied at 1 goal apiece. Face off in the neutral zone. Shortino for the face off. And SHD will peel it into the zone. Wyatt Flynn picks him off. skates it across the neutral zone all the way down into the SHD zone. And shoots from the face-off circle. Save, SHD. Puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Not sure who brought it there. And Grayson Blevins turns it around in the neutral zone. Skates it back into the SHD zone. And I'm lost in space. Emmett Cook and Pacey Shortino and Grayson Blevins all back to defend. Braxton Courts tries to knock it out of the Dragon zone. And Wesley Johnson will make sure that goes wide of the net. Emmett Cook sends it off the near side. And back to Braxton Courts. He'll turn it around. Sends it back out to the neutral zone. Shortino picks it off. Center ice. Drags it in. Sends a shot off the face mask of the SHD netminder and back behind the net. And they'll bring it back out to the neutral zone. Emmett Cook and Jet Nefziger back to defend. Moves it around from the slot. Ooh, almost a glove save there. Went high over the net. And back to the neutral zone. Richardson trying to chase him down. Shortino, Nefziger, and Emmett Cook back to defend. Save, Johnson! Back to the far corner, and Emmett Cook will send it up the far boards. Houston Richardson peels it out to the neutral zone. And SHD brings it back in. Nefziger back. Ooh, shot goes through the crease and over to the near side, and here comes Emmett Cook. Peels it back out to the neutral zone. And offside Dragons, perhaps? Offside Dragons. 3:27 remaining in the first period, and we have an intense game, ladies and gentlemen. Smith at center. McCoy and Moldenauer on the wing. Emmett Cook and Jet Nefziger on defense. And SHD tries to battle for it in the center ice circle there, and Emmett Cook's going to bring it up the far side, all the way down to the far corner, and Jonas Smith's back to help him out. Back to Nefziger, sends it in deep all the way to the back wall. SHD gets there first, brings it around, sends it off the near side boards, and Emmett Cook almost held it in, just couldn't quite get it there. 2:54 remaining in the first period. Dragons and SHD Elite tied at 1 goal apiece. Face off in the neutral zone. McCoy and Moldenauer still on the wing. Smith at center. Blevins and Flynn on defense. Smith with face off. Over to the near side. SHD knocks it into the neutral zone. Moving through the neutral zone off to the far side. And Blevins stops that shot. He'll battle for it on the back wall against 2 SHD players. And they'll try to center one up. Puck comes back to the blue line. And here comes Moldenauer. Nope. And SHD picks it up in the far face-off circle. Tries to get a shot. Deflected wide. And yeah, Moldenauer stops the puck in front of the crease. And another shot. Blocked by Blevins. Deflected wide. Blevins picks it up. And it looks like we got a delayed penalty here.
Let's go, man. Let's get one here, boys. Go.
Who's going off? Wyatt Flynn will go off for 1:30. 2:10 remaining in the first period. Dragons will be down a man. Shortino at center. Braxton Courts on the wing. I'm not sure what we're doing here. Blevins on defense. Easton Cook's out there as well. And SHD tries to turn it around. Braxton Courts brings it out to the neutral zone. Across the neutral zone with some speed. Got picked off in the top of the face-off circle here on the near side in the SHD zone. They're going to head back in with some speed. All the way back. Blevins back to defend. Shortino sends it out to the neutral zone. Puck goes all the way down. No icing, and SHD turns it around in their zone. Back out to the neutral zone, and they'll enter the zone again. Shortino drives them to the outside. Picks the puck up on the far corner. Sends it out to the neutral zone. That's probably going to be an icing call, and it is. 1:19 remaining in the first period. 39 seconds remaining on the Flynn penalty. And we'll have a face-off in the Dragon zone. Shortino at center. Courts on the wing. Blevins and Emmett Cook on defense. Shortino for the face-off. Back to Emmett Cook in the far corner. And he's going to battle with some SHD players on the far side. Shortino over to help him. Man. SHD muscles it up to the back wall. Blevins sends it up the far side again. All the way out to the neutral zone, and Courts is in hot pursuit. He'll race it up into the SHD zone. And Shortino holds it in for a second. Back to Emmett Cook. Emmett Cook scoops it back into the SHD zone, and they'll peel it back out across the blue line. Emmett Cook drives it in deep. SHD collects it first on the back wall, and they're going to skate it across their zone back out to the neutral zone. Wyatt Flynn and Emmett Cook back to defend. Blevins back to defend. Emmett Cook turns it around, skates it across the neutral zone. And SHD drives it to the far boards. Back out to the neutral zone it comes. Blevins and Courts racing back for it. Oh, and Emmett Cook picks it up, skates it around the back of the Dragons net, and sends it all the way back out. Looking for Flynn on the near side in the neutral zone. He's going to skate it in. Sends a shot up the slot, right over the top of the net. And puck comes out to the neutral zone. That's going to do it for the first period of play, folks. Dragons and SHD tied at 1 goal apiece after one.
What are you looking for? Your teddy bear. Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Ay caramba.
It's in there. Oh.
Gotta take a drink of my Dr. Pepper. Hope I don't belch too much. I wanted to get a Aquafina out of the vending machine, but those were sold out. I had to get a a sody. Looks like we got an exciting game on our hands, folks. Looks like through the camera you can see through the glass a little better now than we could before, so hopefully the frost is subsiding a bit. All right, let's go Dragons! Period 2 starts now. We're gonna have Shortino at center. Jonas Smith and Wyatt Flynn on the wing. Nafziger and Emmett Cook on defense. Wesley Johnson in net. Switching sides and going the other way for period 2. This is Pekin Dragons 10 UAA hockey, and from the face-off back to Nafziger, and he'll scoop it back into the neutral zone. Wyatt Flynn swats it up the far side boards back to Emmett Cook. And here comes Shortino, right up the slot. Out in front, sends a shot. Goal, Dragons! Bar down! Shortino goal! 11:42 remaining in the second period.
Let's go, boys. You got this. Let's go. Let's go.
Same lineup.
Let's go.
Shortino for the face-off. And he'll swat at it around. Passes over to Jonas Smith and the near side. Back to Shortino. And puck squirts out to the neutral zone. Offside Dragons. 11:30 remaining in the second. Dragons up by 1.
Go, Braxton.
Courts and Flynn on the wing. Shortino at center. Knapziger and Cook still on defense. Shortino pulls it into the goal! Courts! Woo! Dragons goal! 11:21 remaining in the second period. Braxton Courts goal. Dragons up by 2. Knapziger and Blevins on defense. Shortino for the faceoff. Over to Wyatt Flynn. Carries it in on the near side. Sends it in deep up to the back wall. Shortino races back for it. Centering pass, and SHD comes out with it. All the way to the back wall. Dragons hold it in. And SHD scoops it out. Dragons battle for it in the neutral zone on the near side. And Flynn races back for it in the Dragon zone. Back to Shortino up in the neutral zone, and he's going to race it in on the far side. Dangles around some traffic there. SHD picked him off. Wait for a pass to Knapziger. Shot! Off the post! Goal, Dragons! Wyatt Flynn with the rebound goal. 10:36 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 3. Jonah Smith at center, Moldenauer and Richardson on the wing. Blevins and Emmett Cook on defense. Smith for the faceoff. Back to Emmett Cook on the far side, and he'll scoop it down into the SHD zone all the way to the back wall. SHD gets there first. Over to Moldenauer on the near side. Looking for a centering pass. And SHD picks that off. Moldenauer picks him off in the neutral zone. Slows him down a little bit there, and Emmett Cook's going to race back for it in the far corner in the Dragon zone. He'll battle for it on the back wall in the Dragon zone, sends it up the far side boards. SHD holds it in, sends it off of Richardson, and out to the neutral zone we go. Richardson trying to chase it down in the neutral zone. Back to Jonah Smith. Back to Jonah Smith again. And Moldenauer. Battle for it there for a second. Here comes Blevins. Sends it down deep into the... And they're going to call that icing. 9:41 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 3. Face off in the Dragon zone. Knapziger and Cook on defense. Easton Cook and Shortino at center. And Jackson McCoy and Easton Cook on the wing. Shortino for the faceoff. Can't see him, but he's skating it up the near side all the way through the neutral zone, and he'll chase it down. Drives it in deep. SHD turns it around. And they're back off to the races across the neutral zone. Knapziger and Emmett Cook on defense. Sends a shot. Save Johnson! Woo! 9:18 remaining in the second period. Dragons still up by 3. Thanks to a huge save by Mr. Wes Johnson, number 82. Shortino at center for the faceoff. Knapziger tries to help him out. Shot goes wide of the net, and Emmett Cook's going to race it down. Tries to skate it up the near side. He'll scoop it out to Jackson McCoy up in the neutral zone. Back to Shortino. Nope. Offside, Dragons. 9:03 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 3. Face off in the neutral zone. Courts and Smith on the wing. Flynn at center. Knapziger and Emmett Cook on defense. Knapziger scoops it down deep into the SHD zone. They'll touch the last. They'll pick it up. Skate it around the back of their net. over to the near side. And they'll help it along the near side boards. Nafziger scoops it back across the neutral zone and back to Nafziger again. Up to Smith. Smith carries it in. Sends a shot. Ooh, through the crease, and I don't think the netminder got a piece of it, but it came over to the near side. Maybe he did. Nafziger and Emmett Cook back to defend. Man, looks like SHD must have got picked off, because here comes Wyatt Flynn across the neutral zone. Through the legs of an SHD player. Save SHD. 8:15 remaining in the second period.
Paisley Grace, this way, please.
Nafziger and Blevins on defense. Shortino at center, Moldenauer and Richardson on the wing. Shortino for the face-off. Over to Moldenauer on the near side. Up the near side boards. Puck goes in deep. Back to Shortino. He'll send a shot, gets deflected, and SHD picks it up. Back to the neutral zone we come. Nafziger picks him off, sends it back up to Shortino, and he'll drag it into the SHD zone again. Nafziger comes up to help him, and puck goes in deep. SHD picks it up, skates it behind their net over to the far side, and Richardson tries to slow him down. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Blevins slows him down again. Here comes Richardson.
There was nothing there. Shut up.
Puck's out to the neutral zone. SHD turns it around at center ice. Shortino, Nafziger, and Blevins back to defend. Nafziger stops that shot. Blevins. Oh, loose puck. Save Johnson. Back to Nafziger. Back to, can't see. Here comes Nafziger. Back up out of the SHD zone, and it'll take it all the way down. Moldenauer tries to hold it in. And SHD knocks it back out. Richardson battling for it at center ice. Sends it in deep all the way to the near corner in the SHD zone. Can't see what's going on in the corner there, but he's battling for it. Centering pass. Ooh, Richardson had a sniff. And Moldenauer backhander. Ooh. Back to the back wall, and Richardson tries to center one up. And save SHD, perhaps. Dragons putting on the pressure. 6:25 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 3. Flynn at center, McCoy, and Easton Cook on the wing, Nafziger and Emmett Cook on defense. Flynn for the face-off, and puck comes over the near side. McCoy tries to center one up all the way to the far side boards, and Emmett Cook tries to center it up again from the other side. Here comes SHD, sorry. Back across the neutral zone, and here comes Emmett Cook. Drives it over to the far side, or near side boards rather. I'm nervous, folks. Here comes Jackson McCoy across the neutral zone. Drags it all the way down. He got pulled down. No holding call on the play. And here comes SHD back out of the neutral zone. Back into the Dragon zone. Tries to fire one. Dragons deflected. Here comes Wyatt Flynn. Passes it to himself through the legs of an SHD player, and he's all the way down. Down into the SHD zone. Turns it around to the face-off circle. Passes back to Emmett Cook. Fires it. Oh! Easton Cook was waiting for the rebound. Just didn't get it. And Nafziger holds it in. Sends it back in deep. Easton Cook races it down. Back to Shortino. On the near or far side. Sends a shot. Goal! Dragons! Woo! Shortino goal! 5:18 remaining in the second period. And the Dragons are up by 4 goals, ladies and gentlemen. Shortino at center. Courts and Smith on the wing. Blevins and Emmett Cook on defense. Shortino for the face-off. Back to Blevins. He'll chip it across the neutral zone. SHD picks it up. Back into the Dragon zone. Blevins back to defend. And he'll chip it back up to Payson Shortino at the top of the near side face-off circle. Can't quite scoop it out. All the way up the near side boards and out to the neutral zone. SHD sends it back in deep, and Emmett Cook's going to get there first on the back wall. Up the near side. Braxton Courts. Back to Blevins. Oh! SHD almost got a piece of it there, and Jonah Smith's going to drive it out to the neutral zone. And he's off to the races. Nobody in front of him. Oh, man. Save SHD, and I think the rebound went the wrong direction. Back to Emmett Cook at the blue line, and we got a delayed penalty here. Perhaps. Looks like Smith's going to go off for a minute 30 maybe. .416 remaining in the second period. Dragons are up by 4. Face off in the Dragon zone. And Flynn for the face-off. Back to Blevins in the far corner, and here comes Flynn. Skates it around the back of the Dragons net. Got interfered with there. Over to Shortino, and he's going to try to drive it up the near side. Back to Nafziger, and back up to Shortino out to the neutral zone. Got taken out in the neutral zone. No tripping call. Here comes SHD. SHD looking for a centering pass. Oh, I think Blevins might have stopped that one. Holy Nelly. Here comes Shortino up the far side. Then goes around some SHD players and out. Save SHD. No, loose puck. And back up to SHD on the far side, and they'll advance back out to the neutral zone. Blevins slows them down, picks them up. And here comes SHD. We got bodies on the floor down in front of the. Looks like we got some knee-to-knee action here. Look like Flynn and another SHD player down on the ice, or were.
You missed 3 calls for bullshit. What are you going to do us all? You can't miss that. I concur.
All right, SHD player will get a stick tap. He'll go to the bench and get checked out.
Safety has to be more important. Nice. Let's go, boys. Move your feet. Nice.
3:13 remaining in the second period. 27 seconds remaining on the Smith penalty. And Payson Shortino lost his mouth guard there. He'll pick that bad boy back up. Get in there to protect them choppers in that skull. All right. Shortino at center. Wyatt Flynn on the wing. And Grayson Blevins and Jet Nafziger on defense. Not Jeff Nafziger, that's me. I'm not playing hockey, I suck at this. Shortino battling for it in the neutral zone. And Dragons peel back out. Here comes Nafziger across the neutral zone. Up to Shortino. He'll dump it in deep. Backhands it all the way down deep into the SHD zone. Shortino try to hold it in. And here comes Shortino. Ooh, got picked there in the neutral zone before he got across the blue line. And he'll keep it in the neutral zone. SHD Tries to advance it in. They'll send it in deep. Nafziger will get there first on the back wall. Sends it up the near side boards and out to the neutral zone. Nope, got held in. And SHD fires one through the crease and over to the far side. Dragons can't clear the zone to save their soul. Dragons back to full strength, however, and Smith back to the blue line. SHD sends a shot. Ooh, just wide of the net and over to the near side boards. Here comes SHD. And that got stopped by Nafziger's skate. He's going to skate it all the way out to the neutral zone, baby. Here we go. All the way down. Shoots from the face-off circle. Save SHD. 1:40 remaining in the second period. Face-off in the SHD zone. Dragons up by 4. Flynn for the face-off. SHD. There's a battle with him. Richardson drives it to the back wall, and SHD picks it up behind their net. Passes it up, and Moldenauer passes it back to Richardson. He'll turn it around on the far side, and SHD comes out with it up the far boards. No, they don't. Here comes Emmett Cook. Tries to drive it through some SHD traffic. Nafziger back to defend. Uh-oh, we got a odd man break. Save Johnson! Woo! And Emmett Cook will drive it down into the SHD zone. Thank goodness. 56 seconds remaining in the second period. SHD advances into the Dragon zone. Emmett Cook and Nafziger both back to defend. And over to the near side boards. Moldenauer. Nope, that was Moldenauer. Cleared it out to Wyatt Flynn. He was looking for Richardson there, and he almost got it, but SHD picked off the pass. Nafziger back to defend, picks him off down in the SHD zone. Nope, waved off. No goal. People are losing their minds here, folks. SHD advances back in, and Flynn all the way down into the SHD zone. Through the crease and over to the near side. Back to Braxton Courts, and that's going to do it for the second period of play, folks. Woo! Dragons up by 4 after 2 periods. And quite possibly the most intense game of the whole 24-25 season. I'm gonna take a breather of my, take a breather and take a sip of my delicious Dr. Pepper. And try to catch my breath. Laura Smith wiping down the glass over here so that we can see. Thank goodness. Oh, that's great. All right. She's getting some applause from the opponent bleachers there. Shortino over the face-off, and he'll drive it in deep into the SHD zone. And puck comes back to the neutral zone. Blevins will send her back in offside. 11:46 remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 4. Face off in the neutral zone. Everybody go help her out. Shortino at center, Easton Cook and Jonah Smith on the wing, Grayson Blevins and Emmett Cook on defense. And from the face-off, SHD brings it up. Back in, we got a delayed penalty on the Dragons, it seems. And save Johnson over to the far side boards. Shortino touches it up, and we'll see what the penalty is. Holding. Guess you can't do that. Shortino is going to go off for a minute 30. 11:26 remaining in regulation. Flynn at center. Jonah Smith on the wing. Emmett Cook and Grayson Blevins on defense. Flynn for the face-off. And Emmett Cook tries to send it out of the zone. And he'll block that shot with his shin pad, and over to the far side it comes. SHD tries to get there first. SHD turns it around on the blue line. And say off the face mask. Come on. Looks like Blevins got his bell rung there. Off the face mask. He went off. Nefziger came on. And Cook tries to hold it into the neutral zone. SHD turns it around the far face-off circle. And Emmett Cook back to defend. Nefziger picks him off. Back to Emmett Cook. He's gonna drag it across the neutral zone. Oop, got picked there. And they'll turn it around. Nefziger and Flynn back to defend. Shot goes wide over the far side, and SHD peels it off the far side boards. Shot goes wide again. Here comes Emmett Cook. Scoops it up the far side board. Oh, almost a debatable high sticking call there, and Flynn tries to scoop it out. Can't clear the zone. Back to Emmett Cook. Oh, fired one off of a SHD player there, and it looked like it might have got stuck in his paraphernalia. Not real sure here. We got a whistle for some reason. Dragons will be back to full strength in 5 seconds. 10:01 remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 4. Face off in the neutral zone. And the Dr. Pepper wants back out. Flynn for the face-off. And he'll chase it back down in the Dragon zone and scoop it back out. Shortino's out of the box. And Dragons full strength. Shortino zigs and zags around all the traffic. And SHD netminder will cover in the blue paint. 9:45 remaining in regulation. For what? For what? Shortino for the face-off. Oh, looking for McCoy on the near side there. Shortino back to Nefziger, and he'll drive it over to the near side. Emmett Cook. Ooh, shot goes through the crease there, and we got a delayed penalty here again. On the Dragons, it seems. Empty net, SHD, they're gonna put another player on the ice. And Dragons touch it up, 9:08 remaining, 9:07 remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 4. And Shortino goes back off for another minute 30, it seems. All right, Nefziger and Emmett Cook on defense. Wyatt Flynn at center. Jonah Smith on the wing. Flynn for the face-off. Over to the near side there. Sends one through the crease. Johnson will deflect that over the far side boards. And SHD picks it up. Advances towards the net. And Nafziger stops that shot. Back to Wyatt Flynn. Back to Emmett Cook. And he'll advance to the neutral zone. Interference. No call. Back into the Dragon zone. Nafziger back to defend. And puck goes wide. SHD picks it up behind their net, or behind our net, rather. And Emmett Cook gets in the way. Another shot from the slot, deflected by Emmett Cook, and back up to Wyatt Flynn in the neutral zone. Skates it down, sends a shot on net, and not covered. Another shot wide of the net. And Emmett Cook picks it up, sends it over to the near side, looking for Jonah Smith on the near side boards, and he'll try to chase it down. SHD gets there first. That's going to be an icing call. 21 seconds remaining in the latest Shortino penalty. 7:57 remaining in regulation. Court's on the wing, Flynn for the face-off. And puck goes back behind the back of the Dragons' net. Blevins picks it up, scoops it out to the neutral zone all the way down. SHD will race down for it, and they'll get there first. Icing waved off, and they'll turn it around. The far face-off circle. And they'll go down there in front of, in their zone there before they exited the zone. Flynn will pick it up on the near side. Over to the far side boards, looking for Blevins. He's going to carry it out to the neutral zone. Flynn and Emmett Cook back to defend. SHD brings it back in. And here comes Courts. Tries to knock it out. Puck gets deflected, and Wesley Johnson will poke check that one wide. Puck comes over to the near side boards to Emmett Cook. And he'll bring it out to the neutral zone. All the way out in front. Save SHD. Loose puck. Goal, Dragons! Dragons up by 5. Clock's rolling down to 6:40. Flynn at center, Courts and Moldenauer on the wing, Nafziger and Blevins on defense. And Flynn for the face-off. SHD comes out with it, but puck comes over to the near side boards, and here comes SHD. Trying to push it into the Dragon zone, and they do. Send a shot up the slot, save Johnson, and back to the back wall. And SHD tries to peel it off the boards. Over to Courts. They'll scoop it back in deep. Nafziger will race it down in the far corner. Turns it around. Sends it back up the far side boards. And SHD holds it in. Whoa, whoa. Save Johnson! Woo! 5:35 is what we're rolling past here. Dragons are up by 5. Easton Cook and Jackson McCoy on the wing. Jonah Smith at center. Grayson Blevins and Jet Nafziger on defense. And Smith for the faceoff. Back to Easton Cook. Oh! Tried to turn it around there inside the Dragon zone. Nafziger tries to knock it out. Save Johnson! Thank goodness. And Smith Knocks it up the far side boards. SHD comes back in with some speed all the way around the back of the Dragons net. And Nefziger deflects that shot. Back out of the neutral zone we go, and Jackson McCoy off to the races. Sends a shot. Oh, just wide into the back wall. Clock rolls down to 4:20 remaining in regulation. Here comes SHD across the neutral zone. Nefziger back to defend. And he'll win the race back to the back wall there. Left the puck behind for a second. Blevins back to Nefziger on the back wall. And SHD turns it around. Whoa! Save Johnson again. And back to Jackson McCoy in the neutral zone. SHD turns it around with some speed. Back into the neutral zone. Woo! And that'll be an icing call. We'll have a face-off in the Dragon zone, but we need a break for a second. Clock rolls down to the 3:30 mark. By the time we have a face-off here, it'll be less than that. Flynn at center. Moldenauer and Richardson on the wing. Nefziger and Emmett Cook on defense. Flynn for the face-off. And SHD comes back with it. Cross-ice pass to a player on the far side. And they'll try to center one up. Flynn knocks it out to the neutral zone. He's going to win the race. Gets there first. And he's got wheels, folks. Wheels around the back of the net. And back to the neutral zone we go. Offside Dragons. Clock rolls down to 30-ish remaining in regulation by the time we drop the puck.
Go, keep your head up, right? Let's go. You did it.
Same lineup. Flynn for the face-off. Back to Emmett Cook. And he'll skate it around everybody back in. Right up the slot. Sends a shot. Oh, just over the top of the net and over the back wall. Yeah. SHD picks it up behind their net, skates it all the way back out to the neutral zone. Flynn and Moldenauer and Nefziger and Emmett Cook back to defend. And puck comes over the near side boards. Moldenauer tries to scoop it up the near side. Uh-oh. Shot goes over the top of the Dragons net. And Emmett Cook scoops it all the way out. Down to the back wall in the SHD zone as the clock rolls. Face off in the Dragon zone. Clock rolls down to 1:20-ish left in regulation. Dragons up by 5. Smith for the face-off. Back to Emmett Cook in the far corner. He'll scoop it up the far side boards. Easton Cook there. And he's got guys all over him. And we got another whistle. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. Not really sure what's going on. Oh, we got a Dragon in the penalty box again. Easton Cook goes off for 1:30. 52.4 seconds remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 5. Face off in the Dragon zone. Jonah Smith at center. Braxton Courts on the wing. Grayson Blevins and Emmett Cook on defense. Empty net SHD. 6-on-5 or 6-on-4. SHD turns it around the back wall, looking for a centering feed. Oh, and Cook got in the way. Over to Braxton Courts. Left the puck behind. Dang it. Jonah Smith knocks it back out to the neutral zone. And Courts picks it off at center ice. 25 seconds remaining. in regulation. Less than that. 20 seconds remaining in regulation. Face off in the neutral zone. We're going to have one more shot. Ten seconds remaining in regulation. Smith for the face-off. Back to Wyatt Flynn. Back to Jonah Smith. Oh! Tried to get a shot off. And that's going to do it, folks! Dragons victorious in Game 3. UHT. Look at the Irish. Tournament here at South Bend, Indiana. Dragons and SHD line up at center ice for the ceremonial congratulatory fist bump. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning at what time? 8:40? 8:40 Eastern time, or Central time rather. 8:40 Central time. No! Hey! Jet! 8:40 a.m. Central Time, 9:40 Eastern. For Game 4, yeah, against the Thunder Pucks Hockey Club. Not sure where they're from either. Maybe Michigan or something. I don't know. I think these guys are from like Virginia or something. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in, folks. This is 33's Daddy. I'm signing off for the night. And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:40 Central for Game 4. UHT. Look at the Irish 2025. Let's go, Dragons!